Hello everyone, we are group number 3. Today we're going to talk about self-driving cars by analyzing each of the 6 levels of automation. These levels tell us the degree of situational awareness a driver has to have on the road. In this presentation we will define each level as well as mention any ethical issues that each level may have. Enjoy.
Level 0. Vehicles in Level 0 do not have any driving aids that are controlled by the vehicle itself. They still can, however, have driving aids that are 100% controlled by the driver. An example of such an aid is the basic cruise control, wherein once enabled, it causes the vehicle to maintain its current speed until disabled by the driver. This is allowed in that it is entirely up to the driver to select to enable the aid and to control for how long the aid will run by making his decision to turn it off by either turning off the aid itself or tapping on the brake when he is finished. Vehicles in this level do not raise any additional ethical issues that are not already inherent in cars.
Level 1 of self-driving cars includes cars that have at least one advanced driving feature that can help the human driver in some way, but still require the driver to do the actual driving. One example of these features is adaptive cruise control, which is like the normal cruise control mentioned in the previous level, but more adaptive. This feature lets the car automatically adjust its speed to keep a safe distance from the car in front. The driver still has to be aware of their surroundings, as well as of the adaptive cruise control in case it fails. Another example of a level 1 feature is a lane keep assist system. As the name implies, this system helps the driver stay in their lane by warning them when they're about to drift out of their lane. The driver, however, must still do all the driving because, again, as the name implies, this is an assist system meant to assist the driver and not do all the work for them. Because these features are not meant to make the cars drive themselves, when a potential crash happens, all of the blame would fall on the driver. This crash most certainly did not happen because the car made it happen. It happened because of the driver's negligence.
Up next, we have Level 2, Partial Automation. At this level, the driver is fully aware of the surrounding environments. This means that they still have a steering wheel, they still have gas pedals, brakes, all the things that a normal car has. But at this level, the car assists the drivers with staying within the lines. The car does this by using sensors that surround the cars. It can also manage acceleration and deceleration. So what this means is that you're driving down the road and it can detect a car in front of you and it can automatically brake. Level 2, the trolley problem. The trolley problem is a thought experiment. A train is coming down the tracks and can't stop. You have the ability to choose which path it can take. Down one path is a group of 3 people, down the other is a single person. How do you decide which person to save and which people not to save? It's a moral dilemma. At this level, this is brought to head at this level due to the fact that the car can decelerate and accelerate. If a car can decelerate by sensing things, if it senses more than one people, does it save that person or does it save the people in the car? At this level, there's some skeptics who believe that cars needing to decide who lives and dies is ridiculous because a car will never have to make that decision. Level 3, Conditional Automation. Under certain conditions, the car can assume full automation. Human driver is still considered the failsafe should the car detect an emergency situation. At this level, the car monitors the environment with an extensive set of sensors, called one of the most important sensors is the LiDAR. Level 3 and the gray area. At this level, the programmer's program that controls the car determines when an emergency situation is taking place and notifies the driver. The problem is the driver must stay vigilant throughout the trip. The gray area comes down to the driver staying vigilant and the driver being the failsafe. If the car detects an emergency situation and notifies the driver, shifting all the fault from the car to the driver at the last minute, not allowing the driver to react, that is, a very gray area. The driver must have time to react, but the driver might not. Google had made a level 3 autonomous car a while ago, but after reviewing footage of drivers who shirked their duty, as they say, determined that they were just going to scrap that project and move straight to level 5. They found that the drivers would climb into the back seat, take naps, eat, text, watch videos while driving in level 3 autonomous cars, and they could not take over in an emergency situation.
Level 4, Geographic Restricted Autonomy. A Level 4 vehicle is capable of full automation, but is sometimes limited by being locked into a geographical region. This is called being geofenced. The vehicle may also be limited by speed or other variables similar to these. Although the vehicle has full automation capabilities, it still requires that a human driver is attentive to all the possibilities in an emergency takeover. These takeovers can include unexpected problems on the roads, or any quick decisions that a computer may not be able to fully comprehend. An ethical issue involving level 4 vehicles is that the near full automation invites negligence, which can increase the probability of an accident. Human drivers must always be vigilant when piloting these vehicles. Some examples of level 4 vehicles include the Toyota Chauffeur and the Google Firefly pod car. Both can be seen at the bottom of this slide.
Level 5. Vehicles at level 5 are 100% automated, meaning that there is no steering wheel or pedals for manual control. This eliminates the human driver, leaving only passengers. Therefore, the trolley problem mentioned in level 3 comes to a head, because if it did happen at this level, there would be no means for occupants to potentially get manual control of the vehicle. Therefore, if this did happen at this level, 100% of the blame would be placed on the designers of said vehicle. There currently are no vehicles at this level, as manufacturers are attempting to finish prototypes for the previous levels.
The conclusion. Autonomous vehicles raise their own variations of ethical issues, each unique to the level of automation they're tied to. These problems gradually increase as a human driver has less control and less responsibility of what is happening. Stemming from that, a big problem with finding the fault or responsibility for accidents is kind of a gray area. The field of autonomous vehicles is fast growing, and the solutions of all problems involving them must reciprocate that speed to ensure less risk and less ethical dilemma.